Okay, gorgeous. So last week we talked a little bit about the nervous system regulation. Um, I'm going to share with you a concept that's a little more specific. I've been talking about this for years, but it's in somatic healing, which somatic means physical in the body. It's a bottom-up approach. I can help the body heal, which actually helps the mind, which actually helps the neurons, which actually helps me hear my heart, etc. We can do it from either direction, but this is a how can I tune into my body, work with my body, allow energy to move through my body so that it calms my body and brain and heart enough and offers me clarity and direction and purpose, etc. So there's a somatic tool called titration. So if you like this meditation and you want to continue exploring this, titration. And the theory, I believe the creator of titration or one of the innovators of titration is Peter Levine. Peter Levine, and he wrote a book called Waking the Tiger, which I haven't read yet, but I have read his book, which is amazing, called Healing Trauma, which is a very quick, easy read with lots of exercises. Again, if you feel like you're in fight or flight a lot. And titration says we move into the body beyond emotion and beyond thought and memory. So we're not at the level of heart and we're not at the level of head. We're just totally down in the body to sensations. So we're working solely today with felt sense. And titration says instead of allow, because our nervous system will just try to keep us safe, it's a biological response. So instead of going, okay, I'm just going to feel my fear now because it's spinning in loops, or I'm just going to feel my shame now, or whatever. Titration says, could I lean into that sensation of shame? Not the feeling of it, not the memory of it, not the traumatic thoughts of it, or the thoughts that arise with it, but the heat in the body, or the rubbery disc in the belly, or the spongy wooden prickles in my leg, right? So we're just going into sensation. Could I lean into it? Could I welcome a tolerable amount? Could I welcome 1%? So we welcome a little bit, and our nervous system says, oh, I can digest that. And then with titration, we move into the other. So we go back and forth of like, this is uncomfortable, this is comfortable, this is uncomfortable, this is uncomfortable. This, instead of, our nervous system just holds all of it down because we're like, it's too much to feel, too much trauma. This allows an ease. I mean, you can feel into it even if you're not well versed in energy healing like I am, but you can allow energy to start to move. This is an embodied safety. This helps your nervous system feel safe of like, I'm not going to explode. This isn't too much to handle. I'm going to let a little discomfort in and then comfort. And my nervous system knows I'm safe. So it can like squeeze out like a little valve. It can let out a little bit more and then this and then this and then this and then this. So what we're going to do today is find two things on the comfortable end. So we just had an amazing prompt from Duncan um, and friends that prompted us to really feel into what feeling is behind success for us. So let's work with success today because that's universal. If I am like I look back and I die and I'm just like, damn, I was successful, right? Uh, let's just look in human form right now. We're not going into like the heart's version or the spiritual version. What did you achieve? Did you accomplish your goals? Did you accomplish your dreams? Did you make $1 million? Did you have your dream home? Did you find your soulmate? Did you repair your relationship? Did you heal? Like for me, that's success. Like, holy hell, I came here to heal all this trauma. Hot damn, I'm successful. um, what is it for you? Take a moment to look. There is no right or wrong here. And then, yes, one of the feelings underneath of it will be success, but we're always looking deeper. I want that because. So when I have the home, when I have the healed body, when I have the $1 million or the $500,000 or the $100,000, when I have the soulmate, I will feel what? So write your word down: loved, enough, safe, relief, peace, tranquility, whole. Really tune in. God, I'm doing all of this to find peace, to find safety, to find enoughness. That's what I really want. And that doesn't mean let's stop going after the house. We're humans. It's okay to want things. Just wrote a whole book about wanting things. Like, we got to welcome that in too. But what is the feeling? And when we titrate today, we're going to start to welcome in a tolerable amount of your feeling. So when I say you're comfortable feeling whatever you just wrote down, a word or two, pick one, we're going to welcome in a little tolerable amount of it. Okay. So that's going to be one of your anchors. And now this might sound silly, but this is just how the nervous system gets messages it's safe. I want you to look around your space right now and find something that registers in your system as good. So I've got this plant I love in front of me. I have a fuzzy blanket. Hobbs is to my left. Um, some cool bird feathers over here. What could be a painting? This painting feels nice to me. What registers as good? It could be the way your clothing feels. It's not extreme bliss, but just like, oh, that's nice. That I like that crystal, and I remember I bought that when I was at the beach. Or the wind is coming through my window and it's moving the shears, and that's kind of neat. So pick an anchor in your room. Okay. And I want you to, we're going to do this from the level of the body. This don't make no sense to the head. So we don't have to try to make it make sense. Okay. So put some music on if you want. Put your own on or mine. Mine's a 20-minute beautiful mantra song called Devi Prayer. You might want to play it a little lower so that the sound doesn't distract you. And we're going to practice something today that I invite you to practice as often as you want, every day, if you can, if you're devoted to your healing. To allow yourself a little space to digest this stuff that's been stuck in there. Because what we don't allow to move through us stays. And then we attract things in that situation, and then we think it's our life. It's just energy that's attracting like energy. It isn't you. But if we can allow ourselves to slowly process it and move it through, it's meant to do that. It's like natural for us to move energy. But when we have trauma, because we're in a little bit of a traumatized world, we got to learn some tools and some systems to serve our body and like helping us with the overload. And then we say, hey, nervous system, over here too at the same time. Not this sucks, this is good. Both are welcome. We're just expanding our container of what we've allowed in our nervous system. Okay, I'm allowing in a little bit more of this feeling to move. Ooh, and I'm allowing a little bit more of this feeling in. Because when we're in a quantum field, we're all atoms. Frequency matters. We start to let in experiences in alignment with this feeling behind success. And we can use any feeling, but that's just the one we're focused on today. Okay, gorgeous. So get comfortable, shake it out. Be so gentle with yourself. We're in a massive experience of awakening right now. Anything that we have not looked at is rising to the surface. It can be intense. There's nothing wrong with you. That is what happens when we expand as a planet. And I invite you to pick your hard today. Do I want the hard of suppressing this and staying asleep? Or, I mean, you guys are here religiously, so I'd say your hard is what I'm also about to offer you. Or do I want the hard of expansion and evolution and growth, which we could just call wildly uncomfortable at times? And on the other side of that hard is fullness and bliss and truth and love and soul purpose and soul expansion. And the other one, I just get to stay asleep and numb my pain. So pick. Gorgeous. So we're going to take 3 deep breaths into the belly and slow down as slow as you can possibly go, knowing that I'm going to bring us back at the end of the meditation so you can drift to wherever you want to drift to. So we're slowing time down. Speed of honey dripping off the side of the tea glass. Nice and gloppy and slow. Bringing the breath down to the belly, down to the pelvis, down to the legs, down to the feet. Letting that breath expand in the belly all the way down, 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 down. Slow exhale. When we breathe in, we exhale slower than the inhale. This sends a signal to our nervous system to slow down. Breath into the belly. Breathing into the hips, the pelvis, the legs, the feet. Breathing outside the body, 2 feet. Don't need it to make no sense. You're 5 years old doing the meditation with me. Oh, I get it. Breathing down into my legs. All right, that makes sense. And let it go. Breathing and releasing. I am behind my eyes. I am in my body. And I am connected underneath of me, just noticing all those points of contact under you. And just keep expanding the breath into the belly, into the pelvis, into the legs. Slow exhale. When we feel sped up, I know because I lived here for 10 years, we think that it is telling us something. It's just our nervous system giving us energy because it is perceiving a threat. So it's trying to get us out of the perceived threat. And so everything speeds up. And we live life in the fast lane and we're going and we're hurrying and everything seems like an emergency and we can't slow down. Breathe and observe that pattern. If you are in that pattern is a lie. It is a kind lie. It's the body amping up to try to get you out of perceived threat. If we look at it and we don't need it anymore and we say, oh, whenever I feel rushed in emergency, I know it feels like there could not be another way of life. But that's my nervous system in a habit. And there is another version of reality where I can go at a really great slow pace. Not lazy, but just one thing to the next. And then I can be a successful, fully functioning human being from that state. And when I slow down, that version of me will be right there to catch me. And over and over and over again, I observe that pattern in my mind. Oh, hey, rushing Rachel. Oh, hey, emergency Ed. Thank you. I know you kept me safe, but no thanks. I see you're a biological habit. There you go. I'm behind my eyes. I'm in my body, and my body is connected under me. I'm breathing into my belly. Slow as you can go. Down into the pelvis, down into the legs, down into the feet. Slow exhale. Give it a gentle sound, like an ocean breeze, like I'm doing if it feels good. So keep this up through the meditation. And as we move in, we're going to begin to be our own healer and use this somatic tool of titration to release a little bit of energy. We don't need to slam it. We don't need to go back into the pain. We can just let our body release a little bit today, and then a little bit tomorrow, and then a little bit the next day. And then the ice starts to melt on the river, and then the flow of the river starts to move the energy without us doing anything at all. Breathing, we just notice an uncomfortable sensation in our body. And if a thought comes or a memory comes, we just observe it and let it fly by like a scene in a movie. And we come back to the sensation, the felt sensation in the body. So hot, cold, pressure, tingling, numb, loose, dense, light. Just notice a sensation, uncomfortable sensation calling your attention. And I want you just to start to label it in your mind. And you could even whisper it out loud if it feels good, but just staying very slow, very relaxed. Tell me the textures. Tell me the felt sense. Is it a color? Is it a temperature? Is it tense? Is it tingly? Is it contracted? Is it suffocating? Is it wooden? Is it metal? Is it moving? Is it solid? Is it frozen? Is it hot? And could you just lean in? Remember, we're just titrating. We're leaning in. We're just kind of peeking around the corner. Oh, it's hot. Oh, it feels like a basketball. Interesting, but it's like a steel basketball. So tell me, don't let it make sense. Your body is just, it's energy. And when we see it, it can dissolve. Remember, it's not in denial, not in our awareness. When things get brought into our awareness, the energy can move. We're just allowing 1%. We're just leaning in. We're just peeking in. Just a little bit of the heat, a little bit of the steel, a little bit of the wooden prickles and tenseness, and maybe it feels raw or sore or queasy. So no emotion here, no thought, no memory, just the felt sense. A memory and emotion might arise, but we let it move like a cloud in the sky. We're just allowing body energy to move without needing to make sense of this. Breathing, slowing down. And I want you just to come out. You don't need to open your eyes, but remember that thing that felt good. Just bring it into your awareness. The plant or the dog next to you, or the breeze coming through the window, or the sun shining. Could be an idea. Nice summer day. Summer in LA. The birds outside. Just focus on it. And you're going to want to stay pulled into the other. But remember, we're going to just toggle back and forth so our nervous system feels safe to just release that valve a little bit more on the other end. And anytime it feels like too much, you come back to this anchor, okay? We're just going to go back into the sensation in the body. Maybe it's the same, maybe it's more intense, maybe it's moved. Give it permission to move around the body. Give it permission to be there as long as it's there. We're just working on a little baby bit today. Just taking a bite out of the cake. Come back tomorrow for another bite. What are the sensations you feel? Sometimes it helps me if I whisper them out loud. Hot. Just breathe into the heat. Could you lean in? Could you lean into that first sensation? Could you just welcome 1% of it? Breathing and relaxing the body. And pull back to your anchor if it feels like too much. What other sensations are there? I know this might sound simple, but this is how you literally heal the body. This is how you heal anxiety. This is how you heal depression. This is how you heal physical illness. Got to let the energy move so it doesn't manifest into form. Being the unconditional witness yourself. What else is there? Is an image snowy, rocky, like a stone, rubber frisbee in my leg, tingling. Now, if you feel hot or cold flashes through the body, if you feel tingling, this is energy moving. If your body starts to shake or tremble, this is energy moving. So as much as we can, we breathe and allow. Remember, tolerable amounts. You are in control. You have the valve. You open to a little bit of discomfort and you come back. So let's take another little break and focus on our anchor that was in our room, what feels good. Even just a little bit. Oh, we just notice the crystal, kind of pull out of where we were. Just breathe. Notice the thing. And now, this time, we're just going to use that anchor, that comfortable thing, anytime you need it, anytime you feel like you need to come out to that, okay? So let's just go back into the sensation in the body. You're doing great. And could you just welcome and lean into the heat or the numbness? Maybe you're having trouble feeling and it just feels hollow and numb. That's a sensation. Could you just kind of lean towards it instead of push away? Because actually, what did we say in the beginning? Pick your heart. It actually feels worse. And we manifest things that are really uncomfortable in life when we push away the discomfort. So if we know on one level, oh, this is actually how I heal, this is actually feels better to welcome the momentary discomfort than what is occurring because I'm not welcoming this. And all of it is welcomed with compassion. We're not doing any of this on purpose. It's happening on an unconscious level. So this last one, we're just breathing into the sensations, naming them, leaning in, welcoming a tolerable amount. Tension, contraction, suffocation, wooden, streaming, flowy, watery, earthy. It doesn't have to make sense. Just notice, has your body sighed? Have you yawned? Is there any shaking? Is there any heat or cold moving through the body? Even in a subtle way, this is energy moving. This is you healing your nervous system. This is you letting go of energy you've held on for a really long time. And all it takes is this tiny baby bit. And now we're going to come to that word on the other side. We're going to titrate to the other side. What was that word? Why you want everything you want to feel what? And could you give yourself permission? You might not even be able to touch your finger on it, but we're playing for a moment. Could you give yourself permission to welcome this feeling a tolerable amount? So maybe there's a memory, or maybe you use your imagination, or maybe it lives in an animal or nature or a baby. And you're like, oh, could I welcome a tolerable amount of love for a minute, or enoughness, or aliveness? Just one breath here. Could I, for 1 second of this day, breathe my feeling? Let it into my body. Let my nervous system see that, oh, I can just welcome 1 second of this. And then tomorrow I'll welcome 1 second more and I'll be able to hold the capacity for this feeling. Like we're at the gym. What is the sensation of this? Going a level deeper, what is the sensation of this feeling, of this joy or this love or this enoughness? Is it like yellow or expansive or light? But I welcome a tolerable amount of the tingles in my heart or the floaty feeling in my body. Could I just lean in and kind of peek around the corner? Just a little bit. As we breathe and expand in that, we slowly move back to our anchor, this time gradually opening your eyes and just looking at the thing you found before to bring you back home, to ground you in something that feels nice. Coming back to the awareness that I'm behind my eyes and I'm in my body and my body's under me and I'm kind of wiggling my feet on the ground and I'm like, I'm in this body and my feet are on the ground. Deep breath. Just looking at the thing that feels nice. Stretching and wiggling out of the meditation. Good work today. I know that's a weird new concept, but just notice how you feel when we focus on the subtleties of like, oh, interesting, I did yawn, or there was hot or cold that came through my body, or I did feel tingles, or I did shake, or I did sway a little bit, or I did just like that. The body taking a sigh is just releasing. It's like we hold so much because of trauma. It's like too much in our system, and this just lets a little bit and a little bit and a little bit go, and then a little more light in, and a little more light in, and a little more light in, right? Oh, beautiful. Oh, God, that warms my heart. Yes. And so emotion is energy release too. Amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you guys for going there. Gorgeous. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and hopefully I'll see you guys next week. And as always, any questions, reach out. I'm here. Love you guys. You're so welcome. So welcome. Bye.